Hello guys, welcome back to LearnTube. In this video, let us understand caching strategies. This video is a part of the LearnTube Progressive Web Applications tutorial playlist. Find the playlist URL in the description. Keep watching. When service workers were first introduced, it was during this time a set of common caching strategies emerged. Caching strategies came in with idea to improve caching in such a way that it meets the business need of the application. A caching strategy is a pattern that determines how a service worker generates a response after receiving a fetch event. To put this in simple words, it means how the service worker will treat cache and network requests considered together. Well, you can implement caching strategies either manually using Cache API along with other service worker listeners and fetch listener. The second way of doing it is by configuring Google Workbox, using Workbox routing. So, what is Workbox? Workbox is a pre-caching and runtime caching toolbox by Google. Runtime caching is also called as dynamic caching. Workbox contains libraries and tools used for generating a service worker with caching strategies. Workbox also includes modules for easily integrating background synchronization and Google Analytics into your service worker. To implement caching using Workbox or to do it manually, you will have to first understand caching strategies. Let us see each of these. Strategy number 1. Status network only. Here, the client or the page makes the request, the service worker intercepts it and passes the request to the network. The returned response is sent back to the client or the page. You see that there was no caching involved here. Though there is no caching happening here. Still, it is a caching strategy. Use this strategy where there is a very high importance to actual data, example, stock exchange data, where we cannot afford to show any older prices to the user. Strategy number 2, that is, cache only. This one is the easiest among all strategies. As you can guess by the name itself, it means, all the requests done by the page will go to the cache via the service worker. The cached response is served from the cache. In this strategy, no request reaches the network. You can use this kind of strategy in applications like calculation apps where you don't have to reach any network. Any application using this strategy can work fully offline. Strategy number 3, that is, cache first. Here, when the page makes a request, service worker intercepts it. Then, service worker looks into the cache. If the request for cache is not successful, it goes to the network. In this scenario, request will be fulfilled by a network request and the response will be cached so that the next same request is served directly from the cache. If service worker finds the response in the cache, the request will be fulfilled using the cached response and the network will not be used at all. Use this strategy, where showing cached data poses no harm or there is minimal impact. Example, static images which change very rarely. Strategy number 4, that is, network first. When the page makes a network request, service worker intercepts it. In this strategy, by default, service worker will try to fetch the latest response from the network. If the request is successful, it'll put the response in the cache. If the network fails to return a response, the cached response will be used. This is opposite to the cache first strategy. Use this strategy, with frequently updating assets of less importance. Example, any assets which changes very frequently but it won't be an issue if older versioned asset is returned. Strategy number 5, that is, stale while revalidate. In this strategy, when the page makes a request, the service worker intercepts it. The service worker will then respond to the request as quickly as possible with a cached response if available, or by falling back to the network request if it's not cached. The network request is then used to update the cache. You might feel that this strategy is same as cache first, but that is incorrect. There is a difference. If you observe carefully the diagram, you will notice that, even if the request is served from cache, the same request is also sent to the network which will be used to revalidate the cache. This keeps the cache nearly up to date. This is a fairly common, but an advanced strategy where you get best results in performance. If you like our videos, hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so that you don't miss any updates from our side. Thank you for watching this video.